Hi guys, it's Kalina again, another tutorial for you. Today I'm showing you how to connect your server to your client. So you would have already seen in my previous tutorial how to set up and configure your server and your client in VirtualBox. So today I'm showing you how to connect these two. So what you would need to do firstly is to check the actual host machine and make sure that VirtualBox, the adapter, is enabled on your host machine. Alright, so you go into your settings, adapter settings, and you make sure that your VirtualBox adapter is enabled. If it's not enabled, you would need to enable it. Mine is already enabled, so I'll move forward. So after you verify that your adapter is actually set and is on, your next step would be to go into your VirtualBox and go into the server and go into the settings of the server. Here is where you would configure network adapter settings. So you click on network, and as you can see here, what we have is we are using the NAT adapter, which is not supposed to be. What you would need to do is enable the host only adapter. Here now you would go into the advanced settings and use the actual adapter that is assigned to the machine. Also, this mode here, promiscuous mode, you need to change it from deny to allow all. This is what will allow the communication between your server and your client. When you've made those changes, you just say OK. Alright, and what you can do now is you can power on your server. The process would actually be the same for your client machine as well. So while this is powering on, we can go ahead to the client's machine and do the same. So you go into settings. I'm using the Windows 7 client. You go into network. You change the adapter setting from NAT to host only adapter. You go into your advanced settings and you allow all in promiscuous mode. And then you say OK. So both machines now should have some sort of communication. Alright, so while our server is loading, the first step would be to actually go and configure the network settings on your server. So any changes that you make to your server or your client machine, you would notice that when you log on to the PC, you would have to actually go back into the network sharing options and re-enable network sharing. You may also need to turn on file sharing and those things. So you log into your PC, or the server that is. Right. And what you do now is you go into your network sharing. Alright, and you ensure that your network discovery is on. You make sure that your file sharing is on, public folder sharing is on. Printer sharing, you can leave that off. You can also check your adapter settings to ensure that your IP address did not change. Right, so we have the assigned IP 192.168.0.1, that's our server. So that didn't change. So that is the same. Alright. Once we realize that all these settings have remained, what you can do now is power up your Windows 7 PC. which is your client. And because we have changed the actual settings in your network settings on the VirtualBox, change the adapter, both machines now should be able to communicate with each other. To verify that, what we would do is ping the server from the client, and then you ping the client from the server. So let's log on to the client now. Right, so here we are. So first things first, we would need to check to see if your network sharing and file sharing configurations had stayed. Alright, so network discovery is on, file and printer sharing is on. Okay, nothing has changed here. What we do now is we check to see if the IP address remains the same. This would have been the IP that we assigned the initial machine. Right, so here's the IP, everything is the same. Default gateway would be a server IP address. So as we can see, everything remains the same. So what we do now is let's test the connectivity between your client and your server. So first we do an IP config. Alright, so we see your DNS server. We see all the information that we need to here. And if we ping the server, we have a reply. As well, if you ping yourself, you get a reply as well. So let's go on the server side and see if we can ping the client. And we have a reply. Right, what you can do as well is you can use the loopback address to ping and ensure that there is in fact connectivity. The loopback address is pinging yourself. Right, so once you see that you're able to ping the server from the client and ping the client from the server, and both machines are able to ping themselves, we have successfully connected these two PCs, these two virtual machines together. So in my next tutorial, I will show you guys how to actually configure your server, make it into a domain controller and promote it. Thereafter, I would show you how to actually add client machines to a domain. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for my next tutorial.